Hello guys, welcome to part 5 of our web series on the University of Adelaide's MBA program. Today's episode will cover some of the results of graduates from the program.
So maybe if you can share some of the graduate survey results of yesteryears, those students who already graduated, their feedback or something to touch base upon?
Yes, of course. Well, there's a couple of dimensions here. First of all, the MBA will provide you a fantastic catalyst to move from one industry to another. And there's many examples, and we've got many examples here in Adelaide of people moving from their technical background into a completely new industry. Now, why is that possible? Well, you can imagine that an MBA is a general management degree. Now, it doesn't matter what industry you come from, you still have to deal with people, money, technology, brand. So it means that if you're understanding all of that, you can literally move from the Air Force. We had a fellow who was a fighter pilot in the Air Force. He then started his own business up called Nova System, which has an office in Singapore employing 600 people, turning over 200 million a year. So he went from the cockpit of an F-18 into the CEO's chair of his own business. And he will tell you and tell anyone that the MBA was what allowed him to develop Nova Systems. So it's a very strong catalyst, and I've got lots of stories like that, a very strong catalyst for moving one industry to another. You may have heard of Cooper's Beer. It's the largest Australian-owned brewery. Well, the managing director is Dr. Tim Cooper. He was a cardiologist working in London as a heart surgeon, and the family business asked him to come back. And he said, well, I don't know much about brewing or business. So he did an Adelaide MBA, and he's now the managing director of a brewery after being in the theatre surgical. So they're very strong examples of how the MBA can take you from one industry to another. Statistically speaking, there's two levels of statistics that I can quote you. The Graduate Management Admissions Council, GMAC, it's quite a well-known organisation that looks at all things MBA around the world. They provide some statistics on a worldwide basis, and within 3 years of graduation, there is no doubt that the majority of MBAs will get a pay rise. And interestingly enough, women do exceptionally well. Well, now that may be that their base level was not as high, and I hope that's not the case, but I haven't dug down a little bit deeper to those statistics. But statistically speaking, and I can't, as you know, in statistics, we can't extrapolate back to the individual, but from a population base, it is a very powerful representation that it will provide majority of MBAs with an increase in salary. Looking locally, I know that Nian has done surveys here locally on a number of areas of the program, and we're happy to make those statistics available. But specifically with salary, there is no doubt that Adelaide NAA MBA graduates have experienced an increase, and quite a significant increase. When I talk about significant, it's not so much in the level of the increase, it's a majority of students have increased their salary. And I think that should be quite comforting for people to think that, there are outcomes beyond the personal development. Employers clearly do recognise the value of what the MBA has given to our graduates, and they are making a difference. And remember, no employer is going to give a pay rise unless they're going to get their money back. And so
everybody is behind ROI, isn't it?
That's exactly right. So from a student's perspective, it's an investment in you, and from an employer perspective, it's an investment in them. So they're getting a return and you're getting a return, and it's a win-win situation. So I think it's really important to understand it's not the cost of an MBA, it's the return, and the return is both for you personally and also for the employer. And that clearly has been borne out by the statistics that we've recently had from graduates from Adelaide NAA.
Great. That was amazing interaction with you. I think that this will definitely give a very comprehensive view of our entire MBA program of Singapore to our potential students as well as those currently studying as well. So what we will do is maybe we will also, because of this COVID-19 situation where face-to-face is not feasible to meet with them, we will share this information with them for their consideration as well.
And of course, Jay, I'm always happy to have a Skype, Microsoft Teams, Zoom meeting with anybody who's interested in the MBA. Doesn't have to be an interview. Obviously, you will be interviewed by me at some stage, but I'm very happy to have a general discussion about, their thoughts about an MBA, our program, what it might lead to. So, and I'm also happy to take any questions if maybe when you post this out on YouTube or the various platforms, that you can provide an opportunity for them to write in some questions, and I will certainly.
Thank you for tuning in to our web series. Feel free to leave a comment if you have any questions or are interested in achieving an MBA. And as always, like our Facebook page to stay up to date with the latest insights. Take care.